In a dream, Tim shoots a girl in the head inside a seemingly haunted house. The doctor evaluates his mental condition, saying that Tim has surpassed his hallucinations, both in his conscience and his subconscious, and therefore he is to be discharged. Tim packs up to leave the psychiatric hospital as his sister Kaylee is purchasing an eerie-looking mirror. On the day of his release, Kaylee picks up Tim and eats with him at a fancy restaurant. While they discuss property matters, Kaylee brings up the mirror that she purchased earlier and notifies Tim that they have to keep their promise and kill it. 11 years earlier, Tim and Kaylee are moving into their new house with their parents, Alan and Marie. The same antique mirror is seen in Alan's office as he has recently purchased it for decorative reasons. In present time, Kaylee leaves Tim at his new apartment and says once more that she is going to need his help to fight this thing. In 2002, Alan catches the glimpse of an appalling figure staring at him. Not heeding the hallucination, Alan walks to his study where he sees his reflection on the old mirror. In 2013, Kaylee has a nightmare where she is standing in front of the mirror and her father is strangling her. The next day, Kaylee is asked about a set of corpse printouts and says that there were some issues with her family in the past. She then goes to see the mirror. When she is left alone, she talks to it as if it is a living person. Noticing something moving behind her, Kaylee experiences a hallucination where marble busts seem to turn under their covers. Leaving the gallery, Kaylee receives a call from her brother and tells him to meet her at their old house. Back in 2002, Marie notices that the plants have dried out. Kaylee sees a strange lady in her father's office and asks him about it at dinner. Alan seems lost in thought and says that no one was in the office with him. In 2013, Tim and Kaylee return to their childhood house. Tim explores the upper floor and sees a chain in his parents' bedroom before helping Kaylee bring in the eerie mirror. They put it in the old office, where Kaylee has set up an elaborate surveillance system with cameras pointing at the mirror. Kaylee has also set alarms and gathered provisions for the supernatural adventure ahead. Having taken an awful lot of precautions, Kaylee begins mentioning on camera the many hideous incidents regarding the previous owners of the mirror. Tim doesn't seem okay with this and finds that his sister has become obsessed with it. Kaylee believes that an evil entity resides inside the mirror, the same supernatural existence that has caused the death of their mother. The authorities claimed then that Alan killed Marie, but Kaylee is set to prove otherwise. It is also revealed that Tim shot his father dead and got the two siblings out safely, although Tim was admitted into a mental asylum. Tim says that if the mirror is so evil, then why they won't smash it, completely unaware of the fact that when they were younger, they unsuccessfully tried to break it and failed. Kaylee challenges Tim to shatter the mirror, and Tim grabs a stool. As he goes to smash the mirror, Tim lingers and instead begins talking to his sister. Kaylee then mentions that the mirror is more than capable of defending itself and presents him with a case of a teacher who attempted to break it in the past and instead ended up dead. Another precaution is presented by Kaylee, who has time-triggered an anchor system attached to the ceiling to smash the mirror in the likely event of them both being killed. In 2002, Alan accidentally removes one of his fingernails and sees that someone has messed with his books. Thinking his children did it, he scolds them and closes the door to his office. In 2013, Kaylee tells Tim about the withering flowers being a result from the mirror's presence. She also mentions another variable, the dog, which she puts in a cage close to the mirror. In 2002, Marie and Alan became estranged, all because of the mirror's lurking influence. Marie is nervous about Mason, the family dog, that feverishly wants to get inside the office. Kaylee and Tim argue about the incident with Mason that entered the office and later became sick. The argument becomes even more bitter when Tim and Kaylee seem to not agree on their common memories. Tim accuses Kaylee of being sick and torturing a dog, trying to prove their theory of demonic entities. He releases the dog and lets him out. Attempting to make her realize that none of this makes sense, Tim convinces Kaylee to drop this and leave with him. Kaylee starts crying and is ready to abandon the whole project when she notices the evil's presence in the room. Kaylee feels certain now, having shown the vile occurrences, but Tim is dumbfounded and tries in vain to call his doctor. Marie stands motionless in front of the mirror and later asks her children about the mysterious woman in Alan's office. Tim says that the woman is living in the office, and Marie sends the kids away. Marie then enters the office and searches through Alan's things. She finds a piece of paper that implies Alan is having an affair, and that makes her upset. Marie throws an office article at the mirror, and suddenly a wicked air blows out at her. Marie witnesses her evil reflection in the mirror, grinning at her, and screams. Tim and Kaylee descend to check up on their mother, and Marie, calm at first, tries to strangle Tim. Kaylee pulls Tim away, and the two children run away and lock themselves in their room. Marie is banging at their door when Alan returns. He goes to her, and Marie attacks him. Alan holds her and renders her unconscious. He calls 911, but a sinister voice is heard, enthralling him. He is seen dragging Marie to their bedroom, and then bringing in a chain. Later on, Alan tells his children that Marie is sick and that they are not allowed to play in his office. Back in 2013, Tim seems lost, and Kaylee thinks that she is seeing her father. Hallucinations and weird phenomena occur more frequently now. Kaylee bites an apple, which turns out to be a light bulb, but when Tim talks to her, Kaylee sees that she is actually eating an apple. In 2002, Alan sits for hours in front of the mirror. Kaylee is distraught that there is nothing in the house to eat. As her father is totally apathetic, Kaylee goes to see her mother, who is chained to the wall by the neck and in a dreadful condition. Kaylee and Tim decide then to invite the family doctor, but Alan manages to send him away without the slightest suspicion. Kaylee then asks Tim to be brave. Kaylee manages on time to turn off the anchor alarm system. Tim sees a younger version of himself, and the power is out. Kaylee lights fluorescent lanterns and sees many pieces of broken glass on the floor. She says that these are not real. A younger Tim sees a scary woman with glowing eyes inside his father's office and runs away. Kaylee uses her mobile phone to help her discern reality from hallucination. Suddenly, she sees her mother in front of her and instinctively stabs her in the neck. But it turns out to be her fiancé, Michael. Tim then comes, and Kaylee thinks that he is not real, but Michael is real, and he is dead. Tim takes Kaylee outside and says that he has enabled the kill switch on the anchor system. As the siblings talk, they see themselves standing in front of the mirror. At first they think it's an illusion, but they're not so sure now. Tim calls 911 again, but the distortion proves him that nothing is real. Getting back inside the house, Tim and Kaylee run in parallel lines with their younger selves. Tim sees his father taking the gun and going upstairs. Alan points the gun at Marie, but instead of shooting her, he lets her free. Marie then goes after her children. Tim and Kaylee see the hideous woman with glowing eyes talking to them with the voice of their father. They don't know what to do as they are lost in a maze of nightmarish delusions. The children get out of the room, and Kaylee hits her mother with a gold bat. Tim is confronted by his father, who shoots him. Kaylee sees Michael in the office. Marie attacks Kaylee and goes to strangle her, but before she kills her, she stops. Suddenly, Alan shoots Marie and kills her, while the ghosts of the previous owners of the mirror stand behind him. The siblings flee and try to break the mirror with their golf clubs, but fail miserably. Alan comes and attempts to shoot Kaylee. Tim disarms his father and grabs his gun. Alan strangles his daughter, but he too in the end lets her go. He turns around and faces Tim, telling him to run. Tim shoots his father dead, and many ghosts enter the room, opening their mouths and sounding like alarm clocks. Kaylee sees her mother in the mirror and goes to her. She hugs her, and at the same time Tim, who has broken free from these demonic hallucinations, activates the kill switch, but doing so inadvertently kills Kaylee. The police come and arrest Tim, who screams that the mirror did it, both now and in the past. As he is taken away, he sees the spectres of the dead standing by the windows, staring at him with glowing, mirror-like eyes.